Welcome, friend, to Dream Bites, a podcast where the magic of storytelling meets the power of imagination. Each episode is a warm invitation to explore a world unlike any other, carefully crafted to transport you to new realms of wonder. So, find a cozy spot, settle in, and let the friendly voice of our narrator be your guide on this exciting adventure. And now, dear listener, it's time to embark on today's delightful story.
Winnie's Enchanted Symphony. Chapter 1. The Enchanted Creek's Melody. Another day, another miserable adventure. That's just my luck. There I was, Winnie the aspiring wizard, trudging through the sunlit forest, trying to clear my head from the constant troubles that seemed to follow me everywhere. Little did I know my life was about to change forever. As I walked along the winding path, the cheerful chirping of birds and the gentle rustling of leaves filled the air. I couldn't help but feel a twinge of envy at their carefree existence. Must be nice not to have a care in the world. Lost in thought, I almost missed the peculiar sight before me. There, nestled beside a bubbling creek, sat a set of gleaming brass instruments. The sunlight danced off their polished surfaces, casting a mesmerizing glow on the surrounding moss and flowers. Curiosity got the better of me, and I found myself kneeling beside the instruments. My fingers traced the intricate engravings on the trumpet, marveling at the craftsmanship. It was as if the forest itself was whispering, urging me to pick it up and play. Taking a deep breath, I brought the trumpet to my lips and blew. A powerful note echoed through the trees, sending a flock of birds fluttering from their perches. The leaves swayed in time with the melody, and the creek seemed to dance along with the music. To my amazement, woodland creatures began to emerge from their hiding spots, drawn to the enchanting tune. Rabbits, squirrels, and birds alike gathered around me, their eyes filled with wonder and delight. As I continued to play, a strange energy coursed through my veins. It was as if the instrument had become an extension of myself, channeling a magic I never knew I possessed. I could sense the emotions of the creatures around me, their joy, their peace, their trust. But with this newfound power came a realization that made my stomach twist. As my mentor always said, with great power comes great responsibility. Was I ready to take on such a burden? Could I be the one to protect and lead these creatures? As the final notes faded away and the animals lingered, I knew my life had taken an unexpected turn. Gathering the instruments, I took a deep breath and steeled myself for the adventure that lay ahead. An adventure filled with uncertainty, challenges, and the weight of my newfound destiny. But hey, that's just my luck, right? Winnie, the aspiring wizard, off on another miserable quest. What could possibly go wrong? Chapter 2. The Evil Hag's Threat. The old, twisted oak tree offered little comfort as I sat beneath its gnarled branches, my mind consumed by thoughts of the magical instruments I'd discovered. A strange unease settled over me, a sensation that whispered of impending danger. The once gentle breeze suddenly turned fierce, whipping through the forest with an eerie chill. Birds took flight in a frenzied panic, their desperate cries piercing the air. The abrupt change sent a shiver down my spine. Something was coming. From the depths of the shadowed undergrowth, an old woman emerged. Her weathered face, framed by stringy grey hair, held a malevolent glint in her eyes. As she approached, the very air seemed to grow heavy with a sense of dread. "Who are you?" I demanded, my voice trembling despite my best efforts to appear brave. A wicked smile stretched across her thin lips. "I am Corvina, mistress of the dark arts," she declared, her raspy voice sending a chill through my bones. "And those instruments you possess rightfully belong to me." I clutched the instruments tighter, a sudden protectiveness surging through me. "No, they chose me. I won't let you take them." Corvina's eyes flashed with anger, and the ground beneath our feet began to tremble. The vibrant colours of the forest slowly drained away, replaced by a sickly grey pallor. "Foolish child," she hissed. "With those instruments, I shall plunge this forest into eternal darkness." Fear gripped my heart, but a determination born of the instrument's magic burned within me. Raising the trumpet to my lips, I played a defiant melody. The notes rang out, pushing back against the encroaching gloom. Corvina's face contorted with rage. "This is far from over," she snarled. "I will return, and the forest will be mine." In a swirling cloud of inky smoke, she vanished, her ominous promise lingering in the air. As the forest slowly regained its colour, the weight of responsibility settled heavily upon my shoulders. It was up to me to master these magical instruments and protect the woodland creatures from Corvina's dark designs. Fear and doubt crept into my heart, but I pushed them aside. I had made a promise, and I intended to keep it. With the instruments as my guide and my own budding magic, I would face the challenges ahead and become the guardian this enchanted forest needed. Though the path before me was uncertain and fraught with danger, I knew I could not back down. The fate of the forest, and all who called it home, rested in my hands. It was time to embrace my destiny and face the evil that threatened the harmony of this magical realm. Chapter 3: The Orchestra of the Forest. As I settled onto the soft, mossy ground of the sunlit glade, the enchanted instruments gleamed before me, their potential thrumming in the air. With a deep breath, I picked up the shimmering flute and brought it to my lips. The first few notes were hesitant, wavering like a baby bird learning to fly. But as I played on, the melody grew stronger, weaving through the trees like a gentle breeze. Suddenly, a flash of brown caught my eye. A rabbit, its fur the colour of rich honey, hopped into the clearing, its ears twitching in time with the music. As I continued to play, the rabbit began to dance, its little paws tapping out a rhythm on the forest floor. A grin spread across my face as I watched my first audience member enjoy the impromptu concert. Emboldened by my furry friend's enthusiasm, I reached for the silver whistle. As the clear, high notes rang out, a tiny field mouse scurried into view. To my amazement, it began to sing along, its squeaky voice harmonizing perfectly with the whistle's tune. The rabbit and mouse swayed together, lost in the enchanting melody. Finally, I picked up the miniature golden harp, its strings glinting in the dappled sunlight. As my fingers plucked out a gentle arpeggio, a majestic hawk soared down from the treetops, alighting on a nearby branch. It opened its beak, and a rich, melodious cry filled the glade, blending seamlessly with the harp's delicate notes. As I played, a strange energy coursed through my body, like a river of molten gold. The instruments began to emit a soft, pulsing glow, and the animals drew closer, their eyes filled with a mix of curiosity and reverence. Suddenly a voice echoed in my mind, the hawk's voice, ancient and wise. "You are the chosen guardian, young Winnie," it said, "destined to protect the forest from the darkness that threatens it." I nearly dropped the harp in shock. Me, a guardian? I was just a kid who loved music, not some mythical hero. But as I looked into the eyes of my newfound companions, I saw a flicker of hope, a silent plea for protection. In that moment, I knew I couldn't let them down. I nodded solemnly, accepting the weight of this unexpected responsibility. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, I continued to play, the orchestra of the forest growing stronger with each passing moment. The rabbit, mouse, and hawk, my first allies in this strange new world, stayed by my side, bound together by the power of the enchanted instruments. Though uncertainty lurked at the edges of my thoughts, I pushed it aside, focusing instead on the warmth of the music and the joy of my woodland friends. Whatever challenges lay ahead, I knew I wouldn't face them alone. With the magic of the instruments and the strength of our unlikely fellowship, we would stand together against any darkness that dared threaten our beloved forest. Chapter 4: A Symphony of Courage. As we ventured deeper into the enchanted forest, the once inviting trees seemed to grow more twisted and foreboding with each step. A peculiar mist swirled around us, making it difficult to see the path ahead. I clutched my flute tightly, trying to ignore the prickle of fear creeping up my spine. My woodland companions stayed close by my side, their presence a comforting reminder that I wasn't alone in this quest. Suddenly, a dark, sinewy vine shot out from the undergrowth, wrapping itself around the rabbit's fluffy tail. The poor creature let out a terrified squeak as it dangled helplessly in the air. Without hesitation, I raised my flute to my lips and played a sharp, piercing note. The vine recoiled as if stung, releasing its grip on the rabbit, who scurried back to safety. "Don't worry, little one," I whispered, gently stroking its soft fur. "We'll get through this together." As we pressed on, the hawk soared ahead, its keen eyes scanning the forest for signs of danger. "Stay alert," it called down to us. "The hag's dark magic grows stronger with each passing moment." No sooner had the words left its beak than an eerie cackle echoed through the trees, sending shivers down my spine. From the shadows emerged Corvina, her eyes glinting with malice. "So, the little wizard and her pathetic band of creatures think they can challenge me?" she sneered. "How adorable." I felt my heart pounding in my chest, but I refused to let my fear show. Stepping forward, I met the hag's gaze with a determined stare. "Your reign of darkness ends here, Corvina," I declared, surprised by the steadiness of my own voice. "We may be small, but together we have the power to restore harmony to this forest." With that, I raised my flute once more, and my companions readied their own instruments. As we began to play, a radiant glow emanated from the enchanted brass, enveloping us in a warm, protective light. The music swelled, a symphony of courage and unity that seemed to push back against the hag's oppressive magic. Corvina's eyes widened in surprise, and for a fleeting moment, I thought I saw a flicker of uncertainty cross her face. But the battle was far from over, and I knew we would need every ounce of bravery and skill to emerge victorious. As the final notes of our melody faded into the mist, I steeled myself for the confrontation to come, drawing strength from the unwavering support of my woodland friends. Chapter 5. The Hag's Lullaby. As the melody of our enchanted instruments filled the air, Corvina's dark magic began to falter. The inky tendrils that had once lashed out at us now recoiled, as if repelled by the harmonious notes. The hag's eyes widened in disbelief as she realized the power of our united front. "Impossible!" Corvina hissed, her voice tinged with fear. "How can mere woodland creatures and a child defeat me?" I stepped forward, my flute held high. "You underestimated the strength of our bond, Corvina," I said, my voice steady and clear. "Harmony will always triumph over discord." With renewed determination, we played on. The rabbit's rhythmic thumping, the mouse's delicate singing, and the hawk's powerful screeches wove together with my own enchanted melody. It was a symphony of courage, a musical tapestry that wrapped around the clearing and began to push back the hag's malevolent energy. Corvina's hands trembled as she tried to summon more of her dark magic, but it was no use. The music had taken hold, and her power was fading. Slowly, her eyelids began to droop, and her body swayed like a willow in the breeze. Finally, as the last notes of our lullaby echoed through the forest, Corvina sank to her knees and fell into a deep, enchanted slumber. A hush fell over the clearing, broken only by the soft rustle of leaves overhead. The woodland creatures and I exchanged glances, hardly daring to believe that we had succeeded. Then, as realization dawned, a chorus of joyful cheers erupted from the assembled animals. "We did it!" the rabbit exclaimed, bounding around in glee. "Winnie, you were amazing!" "No," I said, shaking my head with a smile. "We were amazing together." As we celebrated our victory, I couldn't help but reflect on the incredible journey that had led me to this moment. What had begun as a chance discovery of enchanted instruments had become a quest to save the forest and a testament to the power of unity. I looked around at my newfound friends, marveling at the bonds we had forged through our shared purpose. With Corvina vanquished and harmony restored, we made our way back through the forest, the enchanted creek's melody guiding us home. The woodland creatures chattered excitedly, already planning the stories they would tell of our adventure. And as for me, I knew that this was only the beginning. For wherever there was music to be played and friendships to be forged, I would be there, ready to lend my enchanted instruments to the cause of unity and peace. The end.
And there you have it, dear listener. Another enchanting journey brought to life by the magic of storytelling. We hope that this tale has sparked your imagination and left you with a sense of wonder. As we close this chapter, remember that there's always another story waiting to be discovered. So keep your sense of curiosity alive and join us again for the next episode of Dream Bites. Until then, may your own adventures be filled with the same excitement and delight as the ones we've shared here. And always remember, the power of imagination knows no bounds. Thank you for being a part of the Dream Bites story. See you next time.
Close your eyes, let your mind ignite. A universe of stories shining bright. Imagine stage, a canvas to create dream bites with fantasies.